You're listening to the Mountain Opry, a big benefit broadcast for the Forgotten Child Fund here on WDOD. Chattanooga, don't forget, $15 provides Christmas for one youngster. And we're going to be passing the buckets again a little later on. You folks listening at home, if you want to mail us a check, you can. You can send it to the Free Press. They are a part of the Forgotten Child Fund, plus WDOD Radio. The next big portion of the Mountain Opry is brought to you by Jack Wood's Southern Restaurant at 3224 Dayton Boulevard in Red Bank, where folks from all over the South eat every day. The Southern Restaurant in Red Bank, open Monday through Saturday from 6 until 9. And now, put your hands together, singing for the Southern Restaurant, the Dismembered Tennesseans.
How to win her love, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy. My old mind, she's the apple of eye, don't think she's a real Jim Dandy. Take my advice and put it on ice, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy. Give that gal the time of her life. You'd find a boat in brandy, but if you want to make that gal your wife, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy. My old mind, she's the apple of mine, don't you think she's a real Jim Dandy? Take my advice and put it on ice, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy. Take your wife to the mountaintop or down to the beach, it's sandy. But if you want to keep her satisfied, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy. My old mind, she's the apple of eye, don't you think she's a real Jim Dandy? Take my advice and put it on ice, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy, tell her lies and feed her candy.
Thank you so much there. Thank you so much there, friends and neighbors, and it's a big privilege for us to be back on WDOD. The last time we had this opportunity was in 1947 down at the American Theater on Main Street when we were pretty young and we were just getting started then. It's always nice to be asked back, and I want to thank you, Earl, for finally getting around to it. It's been a long, long time.
You were just getting started in 1947? You're just getting started again tonight.
A lot of people think we haven't come very far, Earl, and I guess it sort of depends on where you're sitting.
That's right.
That last number we did is Tell Her Lies from our first album, the one that has, after 4 years, become a complete sellout. We had said we'd never, ever make another album and didn't intend to, but somehow or another we got talked into making a gospel album that we will offer to you good folks here. We're giving $5 of each album we sell here to the Forgotten Child Fund, so that ought to make it a little more interesting. On this album is this next song we're going to do. Fletcher Bright is the one who does the singing, the lead singing on this number. I guess all of us have untrained voices, but Fletcher's voice is probably the one that's the most untrained. Give you some idea what his voice sounds like. We're going to let him lead us into one that's called A Rank Stranger.
I looked for my friends, but I never did find them. I found they were all rank strangers to me. Everybody I met seemed to be rank strangers.
I found they were all
rank strangers to me. They've all moved away, said the voice of a stranger, to a beautiful home by the bright crystal sea. Some beautiful day we'll meet 'em in heaven, where no one will be. Everybody I met seemed to be rank strangers. No mother nor day, not a friend could I see. They knew not my name, and I knew not the face. I found they were all rank strangers to me.
We'll have more from the Dismembered Tennesseans in just a minute. Ken Holiday, where'd you have lunch today?
Over at the Southern Restaurant.
Where is that?
Red Bank, down Dayton Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, I was with you.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
You know,
that's where Jack Wood, the manager, comes around the tables and shakes hands, and Ruth Wood and Carol and all of them.
She kept bringing me coffee back there.
You had 5 cups of coffee?
Yeah, good coffee.
Tell us what else you had for lunch today at
I
the
had
Southern.
roast beef and gravy, potato salad, great potato salad, cornbread, green beans.
Cornbread?
Yes.
Just like Grandma used to make?
No, it's better than what she made.
Oh, me. You know, the Southern Restaurant is open every morning at 6 o'clock for breakfast. Mouth-watering, tasting biscuits that you've ever eaten. Stick some butter in there with jelly. I mean, Frank Mcdonald eat 3 or 4 of them.
Well, I bet he could, too. You
Right
did pretty
now.
good being on a diet
Yeah.
today.
Cottage cheese and
Yeah.
fresh cooked spinach and
Spinach?
fish. Yeah, I love that spinach. The Southern Restaurant. What is that slogan down there?
Well, the Southern Restaurant is 3224 Dayton Boulevard in Red Bank, just down from the post office, where folk from all over the South eat every day.
Here's Frank McDonald and Dismembered once again.
Thank you so much there, Earl. There was somebody up here taking a picture with a camera of the band here, and I just want to tell you it's not necessary, folks. We've got pictures right here. As a matter of fact, let's pass some of these out through the audience. These pictures were left over from a previous show that we had, and we're giving them away now. Those of you that do take pictures of us, I want you to understand we don't mind. We don't mind you're doing it. The only thing we say is that if you ever sell that picture to anybody, we want to know who you sold it to, because we've got some other memorabilia that we think they would be interested in. That's our dog, Earl. Sure is. Now then, folks, we're going to bring Fletcher Bright up here. He is a fiddle player, the Southern States fiddle champion. This is the third album that we made, the third big mistake, I guess you might call it. This is available tonight in cassettes for only $10, and once again, $5 of the purchase price will go to the Forgotten Child Fund tonight. This album is called one of the really new, significant fiddle albums of this generation. I don't remember who it was that said that. Do you remember who said that, Fletcher?
I think I did.
Well, at least it is one of the new fiddle albums of this generation. This song that he's getting ready to play, I think it's on it. Is it, Fletcher?
Yes, there's one of them, really big tunes, Frank, and it's been
Would
awfully
you like
good.
to tell him what it is?
Yes, sir, I'd like to. I'm mighty proud to be here, and of course it looks like it's sort of my show tonight, doesn't it? I'm singing, doing most of the singing, and now I'm going to do some fiddle playing.
Why don't you just tell him what the song is, Fletcher?
All right, this is going to get the whole band in here, and we're going to try a little tune called Whiskey Before Breakfast.
Folks, it's really not necessary. Not necessary for for what he's getting paid. I don't think you would even have to applaud if you didn't want to. We ought to introduce the rest of the band. We got Ansel Moses over here on my left, the only legally deaf entertainer on the American stage today. He's a fellow whose right ear is, for all practical purposes, purely ornamental. He does it the hard way.
Standing on your left side all these years. That's what
He's gonna do some singing for us here in a minute. My name is Frank Mcdonald. I do most of the talking, and if I didn't, we'd have to sure go out and learn some new songs, I guess, in order to get through it. Then, of course, Fletcher Bright, who's no big deal, and I don't think she's running short on time like we are. We won't spend any more. And then there's little Mike Parham, a fellow that we brought in here to reduce the average age of this band by 15 years. He plays whatever he wants to. Tonight it's the mandolin. And then we got little Doc Cullis over there, the shortest orthodontist in the business. He left his Coca-Cola case at home, but he's over there playing the 5-string band. We're going to do a song for you now that we've never done in front of a live audience. Of course, we don't run into many live audiences. This one is a little liver than the ones we're accustomed to. We're going to do one that's it's a hymn that we've recently learned. We're doing more hymns lately. At our age, I think we should. It's one that's called The Beautiful Life.
Each day I'll do a golden deed, by helping those who are in need. My life on earth is but a span, and so I'll do the best I can.
A life's evening sun,
is sinking low. A few more days, and I must go to meet the deeds that I have done, where there will be no setting sun. The only life that will endure is one that's kind, good and pure, and so forgone. I'll take my stand. Each day I'll lend a helping hand.
a life's evening sun,
is sinking low. A few more days, and I must go to meet the deeds that I have done, where there will be no setting sun. While going down life's weary road, I'll try to live travelers low. I'll try to turn the night to day, make flowers bloom along the way.
life's evening sun,
It's sinking low. A few more days, and I must go to meet the deeds that I have done, where there will be no setting sun. My while going down life's weary road, I'll try to live
Big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for the Dismembered Tennesseans. They'll be back in just a minute. The Southern Restaurant, where folks from all over the South eat every day, featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Saturday. The Southern Restaurant opens bright and early every morning at 6 o'clock. Jack Wood and his staff at the Southern Restaurant out in Red Bank prepare fresh biscuits and gravy, country fresh eggs, your favorite meat, and hot coffee every day of the week except Sunday. The Southern Restaurant, 3224 Dayton Boulevard, is famous for that good Southern fried chicken. The Southern Restaurant brings you honest-to-goodness home cooking at down-home prices. 14 vegetables daily. They have a children's menu. Steaks, ham, seafood. The Southern Restaurant prepares that Southern fried chicken right there in their kitchen on Dayton Boulevard, just the way that you like it. And that coffee pot, my friend, it's never empty out at the Southern. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Do you call it supper or dinner, Frank?
He calls it dinner.
He calls it dinner.
Some people call it supper.
Yeah, I call it supper. Well, anyway, visit the Southern Restaurant at 3224 Dayton Boulevard in Red Bank, just down the street from the post office. The Southern Restaurant, open Monday through Saturday from 6 until 9, where folks from all across the South come to eat every day.
All right, thank you, Earl, and this is Fletcher Bright. It's not often that I can get the microphone away from Frank McDonald. Our next tune is one that Bill Monroe and Lester Flatt recorded on a Columbia 78 record back in the 1940s, and we always liked it then. The tune never did much for Lester and Bill Monroe, and it never has done much for us. But we like the tune, and we're going to try it now for the first time in about 40 years, and it's a tune called Sweethearts, You Done Me Wrong.
You sure are full of knowledge, Fletcher.
Never shall forget the day when you said you're going away. I couldn't believe that it was true. I thought I left my love with you. Makes me hard, you done me wrong. It's rough and rocky too. Had to travel on here without you. I'm
still praying for the time, sweetheart, when you will change your mind. Now, sweetheart, you don't be old. You have left me all alone. Maybe there will come a time, sweetheart, when you will change your mind.
Back when we were on the radio, we used to always send a lot of numbers out to the shut-ins. I think the shut-ins were the only ones that were listening to us then, particularly the shut-ins with broken radios, I imagine, was all we had. But we'd like to send one out to the shut-ins now, along with a dedication to them. It's a song that back then was quite a song. It died probably a sudden and timely death. I haven't heard it in years, but we're going to do it for you now. It's one that's called "Turn Your Radio On."
The radio station where the mighty hosts of heaven sing. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. If you want to hear the songs of Zion coming from the land of endless spring, get in touch with God.
Get in touch with God.
Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on and listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low. Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Brother, listening to the Gorland chorus, listen to the glad hosannas roll. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Get a little taste of joys awaiting. Get a little heaven in your soul. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on and listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Have glory share. Turn your lights down low. Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Listen to the songs of the fathers and mothers and the many friends gone on before. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Some eternal morning we will meet them over on the hallelujah shore. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on and listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
The Dismembered Tennesseans will be back in just a minute. This is WDOD Chattanooga. Jack Wood and his folks at the Southern Restaurant have honest-to-goodness home cooking at down-home prices. Here's a special that a lot of folks enjoy in the morning. 2 eggs cooked the way you like them, country ham, biscuits, and gravy, just $4.25. And the special at the Southern Restaurant that my family likes, the 21-piece fried shrimp dinner with french fries and coleslaw, $3.95. Meatloaf, roast beef, barbecue dinners, filet mignons, French fries, chef salads, your favorite desserts, pies like apple, cherry, pecan, and during the holiday season, pumpkin pie. Steaks, hams, seafood, or poultry. You can't beat the finest meal in Chattanooga. The Southern Restaurant. 6 days a week they're open, 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. closed on Sunday. The Southern Restaurant, 3224 Dayton Boulevard, just down from the post office. The Southern Restaurant, where folks from all over the South eat every day.
Thank you, Earl. It's about time for us to be getting out of here according to what the clock on the wall says. You going to let us do another one, are you? Hey, all right. Okay, Earl, you're a champion. Our records, incidentally, that we have for sale are available by mail. You can address them to Earl Freudenberg. That's F-R-I-D something or another. At WDOD. That's spelled W-D-O-D.
Don't have to worry about the last name.
If you'll just send your cards and letters to Earl, why these albums will certainly be available. He's going to let us do another song, and we're going to do a real nifty song that's going to give Mike Parham a chance to show off on the mandolin. It's going to be one that's called the Lonesome Fiddler Blues. Thank you so much, folks. It's really not that good. Really not that good. He uses mirrors, makes it look harder. We're glad to have been here tonight. You know, they say when you're playing radio, you got to sound good because you don't have your looks going for you. I hope we have. For those of you who have never been up this close to any real big-time live entertainment, we want to let you know that certainly we'll be available here after the show for autographs. Perhaps come up and shake our hands and just see that here Earl's already wanting an autograph here, and we're tickled to death to do this, Earl. All right. I've never autographed an album on the radio before. I don't know what it's like out there in Radio Land, but whatever it is, I'm sure you folks are having to put up with it. We do want you to know that the bus is parked outside. For those of you who'd like to have your picture made standing up beside that thing, well, certainly it's out there and available. We do want to say that this is really a super experience for us. We'd like to say that for those of you that I don't think you really want us to stretch this show any longer, Earl. I think some of them are about to get through before we do. We'd like to say it's been a real privilege, a pleasure, joint education, and a sheer experience to stand up here and do this for you. We'd like for you to know that we don't think of it as goodbye, but just so long until next time. And until we see you again, each and every one, we'd like to remind you.
Keep on that sunny side,
Always on the sunny side,
keep on that sunny side of life. We love you every day, bright and all. Keep on that sunny side of life.
Jack Wood and his staff at the Southern Restaurant, 3224 Dayton Boulevard in Red Bank hope that you've enjoyed this portion of the Mountain Opry featuring the Dismembered Tennesseans. Stop by in the morning for breakfast at 6 o'clock. The Southern Restaurant in Red Bank, open Monday through Saturday from 6 until 9.
Keep on that sunny side of life.
Had a piece of pudding, never give it all away, just put Sally good.
Aren't they great? Aren't they great? The Dismembered Tennesseans.